That's the footage I want to see, and not two naked guys fighting in a shower, but how mad you have to be to go into a shower.
Into a shower to tell Swab. But he had a shirt on.
It said, "I hate Andrew."
No.
Where'd you get that shirt?
I just bought it.
2 episodes in and we're canceled over Bigfoot and what his pronouns are.
Oh, we're live?
Yep.
Right now.
Yeah.
Are we doing shirts on or off?
On. Just today. Just for this one. All right. I'm Adam Thompson. This is Fuelish Behaviors. This is Andrew Howard. He is a technician for MCS Petroleum, probably one of the most seasoned technicians for MCS Petroleum. He's been here pretty much from the start.
A couple years after you started, yeah.
Yeah. And then from the standpoint of starting a company, we go 1, 2, 3 employees, and I think you're number 5 or 6. You're 7. Yep. So we'll, we're at 20, I think 30.
30 now? Oh, wow.
Not technically 30 employees.
But that's how many we've had throughout.
Yes. Yeah. So when we add somebody, we just number them.
Just keep them going.
I think there's 15 calibration technicians or 16. We're looking to add 4 more trucks, 4 more equipment. And so.
That's good. Yeah, I just want to say, man, I don't envy you on hiring people. I like everybody we've had, though. I mean, I don't think we've had anybody bad at this company yet. Like, we've had issues. I'm usually the one you're having issues with.
Oh, we could bring up some names. I think one we terminated and got their phone back and saw more drug deals than I think any rapper in the world combined. Yeah. So,
that's a fun entertainment thing when you get rid of somebody. Like, let's see what they were doing on this phone.
Yep. So we provide a company phone, and of course we get it back, and it's all a bunch of weird stuff.
Yeah.
So today's podcast is titled Miles, Mud Flaps, and Mayhem. We're going to go over truck stops. Mm-hmm. We're going to go over roadside nightmares. I know you got some stories of stuff that's just happened on the road.
Oh, yeah, lots.
Yeah, we'll go there. And then our segment 2 is going to be road rage. It wasn't my fault. And we'll have some segments in that. So, oh, man, it's going to be a fun episode. We're going to have a lot of funnest stories. I've been excited for this one. So we'll see where this road rage takes us.
Hopefully I'm better than your last guests. They haven't. How many guests have you had?
You're my second.
Steven.
You're my second.
Yeah, I only watched the one.
And there was some, I'll say this, and he's going to watch this, but my first question, I asked the question, and this was it. I was like,
so usually, excuse me, when I get in the office,
this is going to be a long episode.
I remember the one clip where you said, well, I have a story about my dad. And Stephen was just like, and you told him, you were like, go ahead and tell that story. And he's like,
go ahead.
You go ahead. Giving you nothing. It was good, though. It was good. First episode, you got to relax.
That's what the thing is right there. It was all at the beginning. And I said, okay, let me steer this boat away from the current and let's get into some smooth sailing where you're not so overstimulated and let this kind of happen. And so he did, and it turned out. Yeah, it turned out. So we'll jump into this first segment, roadside nightmares. We got some good ones. The first portion of this is going to be titled "The Ghost Girl of Clarendon."
That was a fun time.
So that's a story I want you to tell. The story itself was cool hearing it. I think the viewers will like to hear it. And we'll just kind of play and see where this goes.
Yeah. So that story, one of my buddies, Eric, he's our off-camera guy, but he works for Fender Mender, and they do body work and stuff on vehicles. They have hookups to SEMA, the big car show in Vegas. So we were headed out there for that. And
so this wasn't for work.
This one wasn't. Okay. No, this was a trip, just a vacation that we were taking, going out to see all the cars.
So hold on. Outside of traveling for work, you're traveling for fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't mind traveling. It's the driving part of it. I hate driving, but no, the story, we headed out there, left from here, we have to drive, and we drove the whole way. And you have to pass through the panhandle of Texas and stuff, and Clarendon's one of those sites. And it was kind of late.
Small 2-lane roads.
2-lane road. All the highways up there are basically 2 lanes. So we were headed into Clarendon. The only thing I remember, Eric because he missed the whole thing because
Sleeping?
he was asleep in the back. And he was so mad he missed it all. But we're driving through Clarendon. We're in the left lane. We're driving, and then all of a sudden, and it was the weirdest thing, this figure just appears next to us in the turning lane.
Y'all stopped or y'all
No,
drove?
we're driving.
Yeah.
We're driving through, pulling up. There was a
Sefco?
Sefco,
Yeah.
right there on the right. We were pulling up near that. And before that, there's like an old service station that is closed down. There's a truck out front that they decorate for Christmas time and stuff. But it was so late that everything was off.
Yeah.
So a figure just appears and is running. It's running down the road. And it's a little girl with a puffy pink jacket with the hood up. And just all you can see is puffy
It
pink.
looks like Kyle from South Park.
Yeah, her hood was up. You couldn't see her face. And I'm like, what is this? Runs over to the side and ducks in between a building and where that truck was. But we're like, that was the craziest thing. And then Eric in the back going, what? What happened? He gets mad when I tell the story too. So I didn't see anything.
It didn't happen.
Yeah. But we saw her run off. I never saw her face. All I saw was hood and just running. Her hands were almost like in her pockets. And it was cold out, so
Yeah.
I get it.
Now, how fast were y'all going?
30. We were going fast enough to where a little girl shouldn't have been able to keep up and run in front.
But what time is this?
It was later at night. It was dark, and there was barely anybody on the road.
That's
and
crazy.
we're
Yeah.
like, well, I ain't stopping.
Get
Screw
out of
that
here.
noise. I don't know
Get
if
out of
that
here.
little ghost girl was going to kill us
In
or
the
what.
middle of a town that maybe has one gas station.
Yeah.
And so it's not like
I was like, one, we're not going to check on a little girl anyway because that's creepy.
was that Ed's idea?
Maybe it's a deal.
So
But
I'm going to have him on and we'll explain that part.
But we went to Vegas, did our thing, and then we were headed back. We were driving back, so we drove back through, and let's go see where she ran to. Maybe there was a little RV park or something back there, trailer park or something that she ran into. So we pulled back behind that building. All that was back there, old graveyard headstones just piled up, and I'm like, yeah, we're getting out of here.
Yeah.
This is where she ran? This is where that little girl ran to? No.
Just going home.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But we never saw her again. But then we go back behind there, and there was no houses or anything, just headstones for graves. And I'm like, it was creepy.
You would like to think it's not, but then in your other side, or fearful side is like, oh yeah, no.
And I gotta get on it with my dad. He's big on like the ghost hunter shows, and he's big. Him and my little brother big on Bigfoot. He's elusive. You'll never see him.
But is there just one Bigfoot, or is it like a family and everybody keeps seeing?
There's no way.
Yeah.
If there was a family of Bigfoot, we'd have seen at least one of these big feet.
That's the point, right?
Is it plural big feet?
Yeah,
Or
big
is it
feet.
Big
Yes.
foots?
Well, is it? Yes. I mean, kind of both.
I don't know what to do.
Let's ask them.
Yeah, we'll ask when they're ever discovered.
We don't want to, assume.
Yeah, I assume. Yeah.
What?
Get canceled. Big
Two
feet.
episodes in and we're canceled over
We need
Bigfoot
we need
and what his pronouns are.
We need a timer countdown to how much time it took us to get canceled on this thing.
Oh man.
So we got more ghost stuff though. My mom, when we were real little, we lived on a street called McQuaid in Haltom City, and that house was really weird. I'll be in bed and she would see somebody and she would yell at us, "Hey, get back to bed." And she would go in the living room. No one's there. We're still in bed, asleep and stuff. And so that weird stuff would happen there. There was one where I think it was my sister. A weird smell would follow her around from her. And I'm like, well, then she just smelled bad. Like, I don't. But it wasn't like a bad smell. It was just like a sulfur, almost like a weird smell.
Like a fart?
Maybe like a fart. After we moved out of the house, all that weird stuff stopped happening and stuff. So that was a weird ghost story.
And so it just makes you question your own reality. Like, did I do that? Was that a smell that I did, or was that just following
And that's
me?
the thing too, is when you think back hard on it, there's a reason for everything. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, but there's an excuse for all that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Science.
Yeah, a science.
Logic wants to tell us that it's not, but so all right, we're gonna go in on the next one because this one's a good one. I can't wait to talk about this one. But Roadside Nightmares segment, 5-star fentanyl suites.
Tell stories.
There's been many videos, many things, many stories you hear about this, but Andrew got to experience it himself.
I was a hunter at that point,
Oh,
my
okay.
little brother. So we were working together, and I was like, he was finishing up a job, and I told him, hey, I'm going to go grab the room, so you can just come in if you want to grab food or whatever. And I go in, and no one's at the front desk.
At the hotel.
Yeah, at the hotel. So I'm like, whatever, this happens. There's a number, but there's already a woman waiting there.
So like if nobody's here, call this number kind of thing?
Yeah. Or there's a bell. Sometimes
Yeah.
you ring and people hear it. But usually if they're off doing something in a room, they'll keep the phone with them and you just call that number and they answer. So she called it. And then another guy came in after me and he had been there for a while. And he goes, dude, this hotel's so bad about this. That guy's never at the desk.
Wait, he says it like he's done this before? Like he stayed at this hotel?
The guy?
You know,
Oh, yeah.
I'll just call him again.
Yeah, he had been there for like a week.
Okay.
So he knew, and he goes,
Oh.
an
extended stay or
yeah,
something.
he's
Gotcha.
like, this is more often than not what is going on. There's
Yeah.
always people here waiting. So he called, hey, you got people at the desk? Oh, okay, I'll be there soon. And we waited another 20 minutes, man. The chick finally left. She just left.
But at that point, he finally come out.
Right after I got off the phone with you,
Yeah.
he came out, and I think I texted you. I was
Yeah.
like, never mind to do that. And so this guy comes out, and he was tweaking. So he was just kind of all over the place when he first got down there. What's your name? What's your name? Okay.
Oh, so he's fast paced.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
And he was going, and then all of a sudden it was,
Stop, and fall asleep.
and then I'm like,
Start tapping,
I got
clicking.
You, got you. And,
Clear your throat.
And he's, okay, yeah, I got you. And it's just,
Constantly.
I'm like, dude, this is
Constantly.
crazy. I was like, usually you see this outside of hotels, or depending on where we're at.
Yeah.
We stay in some bad places sometimes. It's just where the job takes us. But this was not a bad place at all. And he was. I kept having to
Wake him up.
come on. And he finally got me the room. So I went.
I was about to say, let's fast forward real quick because he gets you your room.
So I go and to my room, the key doesn't work, and I'm like, what the hell? So I'm trying the door key, and then the door opens, and some big Mexican dude is like, no, this is my room. So I go back down there. He's gone again. So I have to call him. And he comes back down there. Oh, well, let's go see. I was like, no, there's no point in going to that room. There's people in that room. Just give me a different room.
Right.
Oh, okay. So he gives me another room, and he walks me to that room to make sure it's open. The key card doesn't work. So I'm like, I'll wait here because I didn't want to be around this guy. He's like, so he finally goes and gets me another room, and I open it up, and I'm like, all right, I'm in my room. Hunter shows up, and I'm on the phone with y'all texting, like, dude, this is the craziest.
Sending videos.
I am done with hotels for the week. I'm like, I'm ready to come home and all this and that. And then I get into the room, and I'm like, all right, the room's pretty good. And then I'm washing my hands or something and look down, and there's someone's fake eyelash long just stuck to the counter, and I'm like, do people clean these rooms? Like, and it makes you.
And then somebody else uses their key card and walks right in your room.
She's missing an eyelash.
I left this, guys.
But yeah, and at that point, you don't want to sleep in the beds because did the bed get cleaned? Did the sheets get cleaned?
Yep.
And it's so uncomfortable. And I mean, that's hotel life, though. I mean, what can you do?
We did one. We were out of town, and we go and get our hotel room. We decide, it's been a long day. Let's go put all our stuff in a hotel room. We had 3 or 4 hotel rooms. Let's go eat. We'll come back and we'll go to bed. And we go into our hotel room. We put our luggage in there. We leave. We go eat. On our way back, or when we get back, we're walking up to our room, and there's this little Mexican guy sitting outside of our door, like just sitting on the floor between the 2 doors of the hotel. And we walk up, he doesn't speak English. Well, we have a guy who speaks Spanish. And so if you know the guy that speaks Spanish, sometimes he's clueless. And I asked him, I said, what is this guy? The guy starts speaking Spanish to us, and I can't understand him. I'm like, what is he saying? And Rio starts talking to him. And he looks at me like this is normal, but he said, hey, the guy's stuff is in the room. And as if he didn't know that was our room. And as if he didn't know we have our stuff in our room. And I'm like, hold on, I'm confused. And he said, well, it's just his beer. And I'm like, so we go in the room, and sure enough, a case of beer is sitting right there by the door. And he walks in, he grabs it and leaves. We never see the guy again. Didn't say another word. And he just, and Rios just walks in like that was just normal. Like, oh, another guy sitting by my hotel door again. But what ended up happening, and what we realized when we left again, was when we leave the hotel room, the door shuts, but it kind of stops.
It didn't latch.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so this guy goes in, and I guess it latched on him.
Yeah.
And he wasn't about to leave his beer. He sat there. We were gone for about an hour and a half instead of just go buy another case of beer. But
if he had his stuff in
but
there,
at what point do you go to the front office to say, hey, this door was open. I went in there and didn't realize this wasn't my room number till I walked out.
But they can't do that, though, because because I've been there when I went and played that softball tournament in Mississippi.
Yeah.
I was rooming with a guy, and I didn't know the guy very well because I had just been picked up on this team. And his name was CJ. That's all I knew. But he went in through, I guess, either his real name, not we knew him by, or somebody else got the room for him, because we had a manager who got everybody's stuff. And they went to eat, and I was back at the room, and I'm like, I just want to go to bed. They wouldn't let me in the room because I didn't know whose. But my stuff was in the room. Yeah. But I couldn't get in because I needed his name or an ID that showed that and stuff, and I didn't have his name. So I had to just sit in the lobby. I went to the computer. I went and sat by the pool, and I'm like, for hours until he finally showed up.
I shouldn't even came.
Yeah. Dude, that whole...
You just fly out, just leave.
That whole trip. That was the trip where it poured. Oh. But it was a cash tournament, so they didn't want to cancel it. And it was... You couldn't get a grip when you were pushing
Fields
off.
Fields were muddy and stuff.
Nasty.
Brutal.
And
that's the worst. Funny that you mentioned the mud and the rain, because that goes right into our next segment, because this one I know you got a lot of stories on as well, being traveling stuff. But this one's called Weather Forecast, 100% chance of regret. Mm-hmm. So how we operate basically is we have our list of technicians, and we typically look at all our jobs on a map. As we said the last episode, we're in 28 states. Mm-hmm. Get a list of all these jobs in all these states, and we say, okay, we've got X amount of jobs over here. Who wants it? X amount of jobs over here. Who wants it? Who's licensed in these states that we put in a thread, and then you can kind of volunteer. Mm-hmm. And volunteer to an upper state in winter. So
that's me. That's my thing.
Leave that one to you to tell that story.
Man, I have so many. Which one?
Was it Ohio or Indiana when it was like almost negative 15 degrees wind chill and mounds of snow?
Yeah, there's been a few of them. I mean, you went with us. Oh, no, that
Arkansas.
was Arkansas.
That was Arkansas. Okay, we can tell that story too.
That was fun. We need to put that video out of me just throwing the snow. So it's freezing. It's snowy. Man, I got a lot of stories for that one trip, because there was that, and we're working, and then we have a video of someone, a snowball just passing right by your head, and you turn around like, who threw that?
Yeah,
it's me.
Hit the prover. It hit the prover. I'm sitting there pumping, and all of a sudden it's like pilled just right on the prover, and I was like, whoa! And I'm looking around to do that, and the thing is it was planned. I was so focused to work that I didn't even pay attention, and when I finally turned around, I had one guy filming, 3 other like an audience laughing, and then Andrew's over here cracking up because he threw it, and I'm just zoned into working. Yep. It's blindsided me.
That, and then you go and dump, and I look over at you, and you're on top of the truck going, and I'm like, he locked his damn keys in that truck. And sure enough.
I have heard many stories of these guys locking their keys. All these technicians, our trucks are just scratched up and everything from getting in it and doing all these things. And I'm like, how? Our keys have key fobs. Like, you get out of the truck, you lock the key fob. How do you lock them in?
And that was a truck that had happened numerous times. So we were wondering if when you close it, it locks automatically. Yeah. And if you don't take the keys out, it's just going to be locked. But a lot of trucks won't lock if the keys are in it.
And it won't do it consistently. So we could sit there and try it all day and it wouldn't do it. Mm-hmm. But the just one time, And here I am, talking down everybody, and it
Why are y'all doing this? Why are y'all doing this?
And I didn't say a word. I'm over here just.
He was trying to get it done without anyone
didn't
noticing.
Say a word. But I did get to show everybody that when this happens, how do you handle it? And I went on my map, found a locksmith. It's $40, and these other guys, they're $150, $200 for a locksmith. And
are y'all just looking at expensive?
I don't know. We actually just had they lost the keys and they couldn't find them. They parked at a hotel, walked to the restaurant next door for their leaving. Went and ate, and then came back and didn't know where the keys were from the night before to that morning. And so we suggested, hey, get a locksmith. Here's how you do it. And they got a locksmith, $30, $40 and did all that. And they were, end up getting it. Keys weren't in the truck.
I heard they found them.
After the fact, they were, in the restaurant.
In the restaurant.
In the booth. Yeah. We told them, go back and look.
And they didn't go back and look?
I don't know.
Or they did, or they asked, and someone said, no, we didn't see any.
Somebody must have found them, turned and lost and found. But somehow, I guess they called the restaurant back, or the restaurant called them and said, hey, we found your keys. So
right, it
turned
good,
out.
Dude. It's such a good feeling when you lose something. You're like, oh, thank you.
Dude, yes. When we're in the office, sitting here improvising and coming up with different plans, and then all of a sudden, you spend an hour with 20 different plans. Like, hey, let's fly this guy here, and let's do this, and let's drive him over here, and we build this big complicated plan, and then like found him.
Yeah, like,
okay,
all right.
pursue his plan.
So I just spent an hour and a half trying to get this all together for y'all to find them.
It's
it
brutal.
happens though. It sucks.
It's brutal.
You can't, unless it starts happening on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
Then you're like, all right, mistakes happen. It is what it is. But
Yep. And until it happens to me, and then I'm like, y'all did this to me.
You see, y'all are rubbing off on me that I never did this. Like, you're also never on the road with us anymore, too.
Yeah. That led into the homeless conversation.
Dude, you gotta stop doing that. That's another story from that Arkansas trip. We're working with Adam. We have a little 4 dispenser. It may have been 6, but we had 4 people on it. It should have been so quick, and all of a sudden we're like, well, why isn't Adam doing any more work? And we look over, and he's talking to some guy, and I go over there, and he won't tell me what he's talking to him
But this
about.
is a homeless guy in a nice business trench coat, button up felt. His hair is combed. You don't really see that homeless guy.
And you'll find him.
Yeah,
You will find him.
It surprised me. Now he come up, and the funny thing is we're in Arkansas, and he's walking, and he walked from somewhere. I don't know where. He didn't have a car, and asked, "Where's Georgia?" And I'm like, Georgia Street? A girl, George? Like another homeless girl? Like, I didn't catch her name. I don't know where she went.
No, the state. And you're like, I don't know, that way?
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, we're facing north now. You just need to go east, like a long time.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, man, you talked to him for a good hour or 2, maybe.
Something told me to get a story, and I started talking to him and did that. And I ended up Ubering him to the airport, booked him a flight, and told him, "Listen, I'm flying you to this airport where your son is. This is where you said you're going." Right. And I booked his flight, and he's like, "I've never been to an airport in my life." And I'm like, "You have an ID?" And he pulled up an ID, and I said, "Right when you get there, just find somebody with an airport shirt on and just say, hey, guide me. Here's my ticket."
They're usually super helpful, from my experience anyway. I hear nightmare stories about airports, but I ain't had one except for planes.
Fairly smooth.
Planes delayed. I got a 6-hour delay the other day on my way home, and that
was Spirit. No, yours was American, right?
No, it was American.
Yeah. No, I flew 3 of our guys in Spirit because it was like the cheapest flight when the flights were like $600, $700, $800 a tech, and we had to get guys out there. I went Spirit, and it was a later flight. And that's the problem with Spirit is every hour your flight is not. So if it's 6 a.m, you're good. 7 a.m, a little bit, 8, 9, 10, 12. Yeah. Now you get in the afternoon and they're hour delays. Yeah. And sure enough, their flight was like 7 o'clock. They didn't fly out of there till like 11. So
you got to worry about that with Spirit anymore.
I know, man.
Poor Spirit.
The airport's going to miss that. That's where they made all their money as Spirit customers sitting around drinking pissed off.
Yeah, man. And they're always the best TikToks and stuff or things going on at Spirit Airlines and stuff.
Oh, yeah. We could. That's another thing that could get us canceled in our second episode. Yeah. We could think of a topic right there. Well, we didn't talk much about weather. We just kind of straight off of that.
Oh, we did about the snow and throwing snowballs. But, man, what was the Ohio story you wanted me to tell?
I don't know. As I was telling that, I think it was. I don't think it was you.
It may not have been.
I think it was Mikey or somebody. They had that big wall of snow that they plowed over because we saw it in Arkansas. There's and from Texas, we don't see that very much. We don't have the snow plows.
We get ice in Texas.
We did see it this last snow. It was pretty thick, but when they push it, it pushes and makes the snow banks. And I've never seen personally a big snow bank, but that somebody had sent the picture, and like I said, I think it was Mikey or whatever, but. They had the snowbank that was almost as tall as he was, and it was just pushed up and ramped up the side of the road, and it's
like going to Colorado up in the mountains and stuff.
They get big snow and bad,
like taller than us. They have giant poles on the side of the road so
that you can see,
so the plows can not drive off the road, but then you're driving and then, man, it's crazy. Yeah. It's like ice walls and stuff.
That's not, well, I mean, I've got one on the opposite of snow when I flew to Arizona and drove the truck back. I've done that a few times and I thought it was mind blowing. I mean, I've been all over, but I guess I've never driven that border. I think that's 10 or 20 that comes down the border, or maybe 10 from Phoenix, and it goes all the way down the border and it's through the desert. And you're literally getting signs every so often that says, in case of death storm. And then the next sign says, shut your car off. The next sign says, coast in neutral. And the next sign says, pull to the side of the road. I always thought those signs were in like bad order, because if you shut it off and it ever says put it in neutral, rather than say put it neutral, coast, so the signs were, some of the signs I saw that I paid attention to, I thought it was funny.
Did you ever get into a dust
No,
storm? I mean, I've driven through, not where I had to stop, but man, there's points where the wind will just pick up and blow all the dust, and you can't see, and like you get through it, and man, it's
that red dust, or out in New Mexico has the white sands. It's crazy. I think the worst that I had on that trip was when, and it wasn't even bad. It was one of those things that could have been bad that went smooth. But when I buy the truck there, they strip everything off of it, and they pretty much, I just have a bill of sale. I have no plates, no inspection sticker, no registration, nothing. It's just a plain white truck with nothing on it. I don't even have a tailgate on it. Yeah. I sell the tailgate back to them because we don't need the tailgates. And so I'm driving down 10 all the way on the border. I mean, I'm probably a mile from the border the whole way back, going through all these border patrol stops, checking, are you American, doing all that. And they didn't say one word to me about not having license plates, or where's the tailgate, or why don't you have any stickers on this truck. It just, to me, would have been the most red flag thing that you could have seen coming through.
It makes you think like they already have people in mind who they're going to pull over. And then you got the ones, I see TikTok all the time, where you got the ones who,
the Karens?
Are you American? They're like, I don't answer questions.
Yeah.
I'm like, you could
Karens.
just be gone. They do it for clickbait and stuff. But I've never had a problem with one. They ask a lot what our equipment is.
Yeah.
What is all this and stuff? And I figured I'd be pulled over and search for that, because it looked like a storage, but they don't.
Yeah, it just blows my mind that they don't. Actually, one time we were coming back from, me and Jerry, which Jerry, he'll be on the show too, but him and Andrew actually kind of look alike. My son actually used to call Jerry the other one, Andrew.
The other one,
Andrew.
I think it's because we have tattoos and stuff. Yeah.
Sleeves on both arms.
He's a lot
stuff.
taller than me.
Yeah. And we were heading back, and you see us two driving in a truck, and we get stopped by Border Patrol, and I'm driving, and Jerry's asleep in the passenger seat, and this guy's talking to him, the Border Patrol guy's talking to him, and I was trying to talk, and he's like, you hush. Like, this is the most aggressive any Border Patrol's ever been with me, but he's like, you hush. And I'm like, I guess he wanted to know if I drugged this guy or whatever. And so I had to sit back and just look for it. I didn't say a word, just kind of sat back. He woke Jerry up and then asked Jerry, are you American? So as he's waking up, that's what he has to get.
Like, yes.
He has to get, yes. He has to ask, and the wider of the two of us. And so it's just, it struck me funny, and didn't ask me if I was American. He just,
it makes you wonder how many people try to sneak through there by acting like they're asleep. Is the thing, and so they do that.
It was funny, and that story will always hang with me, because I would have been, I thought, the one that they would have thought was illegal, and if I American. There's some funny stories of that, because we travel the border a lot, do a lot of stuff down there, especially with our trucks and the equipment and whatnot that's in there. So we'll go ahead and jump in the next one. We spent a lot of time on that one. But
we didn't even talk about the weather.
We didn't talk much. It was just some embankments and snow. I guess that wasn't as interesting as I thought.
I've caught in some bad snowstorms when I was in Ohio, like you were talking about. But then the worst one was the worst is storms with rain that blows in sideways, because we have pump doors open. They can get the boards wet in there. And I had one where I almost quit my job that
Destroyed
week
it.
because I went, and it came pretty quick, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to latch this at the bottom. I didn't think the rain was going to be that bad, so I just latched it at the bottom. It was still kind of open, but rain couldn't get in.
And a gas dispenser is full of electronics. So imagine taking your TV outside and then pulling the screen off.
And then just opening it up and going, all right, here, rain. And so I get into my truck, and it starts coming, and it's blowing, and I'm like, whoa, this is bad. And I look behind me where that door is wide open. It is broken off the hinges.
Just blew it open.
And
rain is straight in the side of it.
And I'm like, shit. So I jump out and I close it real quick, and I have to because the wind blew it and it felt like it snapped it. So I had to close it real quick. I get back in the truck, and I'm soaked at this point, and I call him like, I'm done. I'm quitting. You need to find me a way home. I'm not finishing this. And then I got dry in the hotel. I'm like, all right, I'll finish it. But dude, it's the worst getting stuck in a storm like that.
And I think you left those clothes in the hotel, didn't you?
Oh, I did, yeah, because I left
those wet clothes in.
I had the blow dryer on them, and then I left them on the thing, and then I got up in the morning and left all my wet clothes.
He said, I'm leaving bad luck and the clothes that came with it.
Haven't got caught in a storm since. Whoever stole those clothes close.
I just envision your face sitting there and look over and then the thing blows over and rain's blowing.
Dude.
Like that is going to be
If we
some
had
damage.
our front cameras, then you'd have pulled that up because I was cussing this
That's
job.
hilarious.
I was cussing my mom for telling me everything would be okay, and I'm like, no, I'm done.
Yeah,
everything was fine.
That's the part of the storms when you talk about storms is snow. You don't really think about the dust storms in the desert area.
Yeah, different types of weather.
We're in all of it,
It'll
but
affect
the
you
rain,
so bad.
tornadoes,
Rain is the
we
worst.
just had all that up in Kansas and Nebraska and stuff. That's the scary part is.
I saw other texts message in our group saying, "Yeah, we're hunkered down in the store right now until this all blows over." But yeah, I mean,
Yep.
It's scary out there sometimes. We've driven through right after a tornado hit going to Alabama, and we drove through Mississippi.
Well, it was Mississippi.
Down
big
the highway,
one.
we had to turn around because a tornado had just gone through.
Yeah.
And you can drive and you'll just see the path.
Yeah.
And it's sad because you know what those people just went through and stuff.
But that's the hard part about owning a business is you're asleep and you don't even realize this stuff's going up and you have to wake up to this and then, make these phone calls and stuff. That's always been my biggest fear is, I typically, if I know guys are driving overnight and stuff, I couldn't sleep if I wanted to. I want to make sure you make it to your destination. And so I'll stay up and kind of watch our truck. We have GPS on our truck and stuff. So kind of track and make sure. And when I see they're getting close, then I can finally go to sleep at peace.
You can relax and stuff. Oh, no, that's got to be stressful though.
Yeah.
You're looking out for everybody.
It's the weather though is just brutal. I feel bad for y'all, especially when it's super hot outside and we're cool.
That's the regret part when you sign up for all right, I'm going to go up to this route. And then it's a terrible week but you volunteered for it. So that's the regret part.
Well, so we're talking about rain, snow, sleet, hail, desert storms. We don't talk about the 110, 115 with the 130 degree heat index. How many times have you been hospitalized from dehydration?
So many times. And that's my fault.
Drink water.
I do, but it's always too late. I'm like, all right, I got to start drinking. But I drink all right, I'll start this morning. But I should have been drinking all last night and stuff. And
they say when you're
it's my
thirsty, you're
fault.
already dehydrated.
Yeah.
I don't know how much truth there is to that because I get thirsty a lot and I don't feel like I'm dehydrated.
But I mean, I could do better myself.
So it's good. It's good. We don't think about all the weather elements. We only think about, when you hear weather, if you're from down here, you think tornadoes. If you're from the desert, you think, storms, high wind and storms.
Yeah.
And if you're up north, you think, blizzards like they just had in New York and stuff that, that was
Colorado Estes Park just got like 2 feet of snow or something
going
like
into
that.
summer and they have these weather. I mean, we didn't get snow and stuff, but we had it went from 85 to 45. I mean, 40 degree drop real quick. So, we get all these different weathers and that's I guess go back to your first week. You didn't pack right.
No, I did pack right, but we told you I didn't because it was real cold.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, tell Adam that it's been because you were texting us. How's Andrew doing? Well, he's all right, but he didn't.
He's
pack
only in
any
shorts.
clothes, so he's like shorts. Oh well, tell him to use the cardigan. I'm like, no.
Go to Walmart and buy some long. But I mean, it made sense because it was warm here, and then you go up north and it's cold, and that happened to us. We were in Kansas and we literally saw a big gray wall cloud. And we're out working and it's 80, 90 degrees. I mean, it's hot and it actually snowed the next day.
Yep.
I mean, it was just crazy the way the weather can change so fast.
Dude.
It really makes you like, man, being outside is an element itself, but that's the hard part about owning a business.
We're moving towards that corporate,
Yeah.
but we're still a laid back small company and it's really nice to work in that and,
finding that middle ground.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you do need the corporation side, but you also need the non-PC side, not be so political correct. It makes it this zombified business where everybody's just coming and going. Because they say it, 90% of people leave a job because who they're around and not what they do.
Right. Yeah.
And so
they
if
like
you
what they
can-
do,
yes.
but they can't work with certain people, and you know, and that's what's good. You give us the opportunity. Me especially, I like working by myself, and thankfully y'all have let me do that. I know I have to work with people sometime, but it's just less stressful if you're working by yourself and stuff.
Making
Some
your
people
own
like
routes and
working
stuff.
with people though, and
I am.
you
I'm one of
like
those.
working with people.
Yep. I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to see you. Just having the comfort of somebody on site. That the lazy part of me says, man, if he's If he's
If
doing
he's
that,
moving,
I
I'm
don't.
moving.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I get that with you for sure.
And then next thing I know, I'm out working them, I'm out pacing them and stuff. And so it's actually pushed me to do more. And now it's this competition. So
Yeah.
the competitive side of me now says, okay, I'm not going to quit. I'm just going to go.
Let's see how many meters you can get
Yep.
before me
So
or whatever.
it makes me better. Whereas someone like you is self-driven in an aspect that you can go out there and say, hey, look, I'm going to get up this way. And if I'm late, I don't have to really talk to anybody.
Yeah, and I'm
about
not
it.
worried about if I'm late, are you up
Yeah.
hours before me working? Because then I feel bad that I wasn't up
Yep.
with you,
Yep.
but no.
And you just get out there, you do your thing, you put your hours in, you know what you're supposed to get, you know what you can do when you do it, and then you go to bed and you do that.
Yeah.
And then of course you have your goal of I want to get back.
Yeah.
So you're not relying on somebody, because that we talk about that being frustrated when you are waiting on somebody, not being the one making somebody wait, but you're waiting on somebody and they show up and they're sitting on their phone. Yeah. You're like sitting there looking at them. You're like,
and the thing
"Get
is, it
off."
may not be a fake, but it is because
Mentally.
we could also have that job done faster if you're working.
Yeah.
We'd have been out here 30 minutes ago, but I had to do an extra dispenser because you weren't doing it.
True.
I mean, it's also it's a toss up because if I'm doing more, I'm getting paid more because
Right.
that's how we get paid. So
Yeah.
it depends on who you are. Me, I like my off time. I like my home time.
You just rather get it done and get
I'd
back.
rather get done and get back and not
Yep.
have to worry about anybody else and what they want to do. And,
Yep. Perfect. I want to end all this on segment 3 because we've talked a lot about gas stations. The one thing we haven't talked about, and we probably won't talk about a lot, so I feel like you're the one who works on them the most. But we're going to call this one Truck Stop Chronicles. I already have the Calibration Chronicles all over Facebook and stuff that talks about funny things that happen to us on a gas station. But I think truck stops are their whole different animal.
Oh, yeah.
They have their own different side. Even that line that where you have the auto islands in the front where people are just getting gas.
It's a different atmosphere.
Yeah,
from
they don't
the-
even
to
see the truck
drivers
stop
and
side.
Stuff. Yep.
Even the stores are almost broken down where the truckers have their own entrance
Yep.
and they have their own shopping area. They don't you don't mix them, so you don't really feel it.
Right.
But so I want to talk about that and bring that to the real world that comes out and doesn't even pay attention to the truck island.
Yeah.
So
No, man, trucks are. Yeah, like I say, it's a different atmosphere back there. You got different attitudes back there because these, mostly in the front, you're going about your day. Like it's an off day, you're off work, you're going to get gas, and you're going home. These guys are working.
This is their
so
job.
if they're sitting at a line and you're coning off 3 dispensers out of 8, they don't give a shit if you're working. I'll be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you coning them? Like, man, I got to work too. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. So it's 2 people working at the same time. Yeah, that's a good point.
Working like if you're having to get fuel in a truck, you're either on your break, so you're getting fuel going to park, which is fine.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you're getting fuel so you can get back on the road because you have a delivery to make. You have to make it by a certain time and all this and that. So I get the attitude in the back.
Yeah.
It's just with us, you're throwing it at the wrong person, man. Like I've been yelled at, like, hey, you got 3 pumps shut down and trucks backed up for miles. I'm like, buddy,
Yeah.
this guy right here has been in this truck for 45 minutes
Yeah.
and has not gotten out
Hasn't
yet.
moved at
He
all.
hasn't moved, and he's just sitting at a dispenser. That guy right there, I saw him get out at the dispenser with his bag so he could go shower.
Yeah.
There's truck drivers who sit at pumps and they'll
Yep.
go shower and stuff. But I get yelled at because I've coned off some because
I
I'm
was
doing
about to
my
say
job.
the travel center that people use the gas pumps as parking lots,
it's
and
the
so you
worst,
get the same
man.
thing, but it's that times 50 when you get into a truck stop because you're now not inconveniencing them, but you're keeping them from doing their job. And so
and they can't see that you've done that.
Yeah.
Like in a car, you can see if someone's in that car through their
Yeah.
back window. Trucks, you can't see that. So they'll pile behind each other and go,
Yeah.
why has he been here for 45
Yeah.
minutes? And be like, well, he's showering.
Yeah.
And stuff. But you'll come up and yell at me because I'm working. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, yell at your other truck drivers, man.
Yeah.
I seen one guy, he, old man, he pulled up behind me and he goes, hey, will you be here for a while? I was like, I'm actually about to move on to this one. I'm closing this one up. I'm done. I'm moving on to the next one so you can get fuel here. Oh, okay. Well, I was going to run in and shower. And I'm like, well, you probably shouldn't do that anyway.
Yeah.
Find a parking spot. Oh, I mean, my showers don't take. I'm like, oh, it's on you, buddy.
Yeah.
He was like, whatever. So I moved over. He pulls up, gets fuel, and pulls up. You pull up, you go get your receipt, a snack or drink.
front
or whatever.
and back of the pump.
Of the pump.
So you have the trucker, you have a guy behind him, and then you have the guy in front.
Right.
Yeah.
So those in front, you pull up so the next truck can get his fuel. And while he's getting fuel, you run in, grab your receipt, grab a drink or whatever. And then it's usually like 10 minutes and then you have to leave. And this old man, he pulled up, got his fuel. I was on the next pump. He pulled up to where he was going to go in. Nope. Took his bag, went and showered 3 or 4 trucks. And the guy pulled up behind, was like, hey, man, just a heads up. You're going to be sitting here a minute because that guy just went in. What? Are you serious? I'm going to go find him. I'm like, we were talking about kicking open the door on a shower.
I was about to say that. That's the footage I want to see. And not 2 naked guys fighting in a shower, but how mad you have to be to go into a shower.
Into a shower to tell. So I've never seen that
I've
happen.
had it.
Get your naked ass out here and move your truck. Yeah. And that happens a lot.
But the irony of that is this guy goes to the next truck stop and he's probably doing it too.
Oh yeah, that's
parking,
the thing.
and he's going to
it's
shower.
Hypocritical,
So,
you know. They'll yell at somebody for taking up their time, but then they'll take up somebody's time in the next time. And
Even blocking off ours where we put a cone, like we're finishing up this one and we know in the next 30 minutes or so we're going to block this one out. They come out, they'll run your cone over, they'll move it, they'll do whatever. They'll pull in when there's 10 other bays to go to. And so,
but you had to be on the one I was coning off. Like this one had to be like.
What we're talking about here, I actually called it Diesel Island Dilemmas because we get in all kinds of dilemma, like road rage, it's site rage that we're like, do I or do I not?
Yeah.
And I'll remind you, these trucks, they hold 200 something gallons on each tank. They have 2 tanks on either side, so they're 400 gallons or more. I mean, give or take. I've
at minimum. Every time I pull up there, it's 200 gallons.
Yep.
Like,
and mathematically, I mean, these dispensers, they put out about 30, maybe 40 gallons a minute. Most of them about 30 gallons a minute. Yeah. And so you can see just to, get 200 gallons, 5-10 minutes to fill up where, as a car, driving a car, putting 20 gallons in or 10 gallons, whatever, it doesn't take that. So you can't fathom sitting at a gas pump for 20 or 30 minutes. And then of course, they want to go do their stuff, come back, fill up. So they don't want to go park and have to get in line when they could be the front of the line and be the one causing the line.
Yeah, and that's where it comes from. It's selfishness and stuff. And I have no room to talk on that. I'm super selfish, but
that's the trucker world. Take care of me, and whatever y'all do is what y'all do.
On your own, you own your own business. You have to get out there. You have to get it done. I get it. It's just that every truck stop has that dilemma. That Diesel Island dilemma.
Yeah.
And it's something different every time, and that's what's entertaining about this job. You do the same thing over and over again. Yeah. But the people are different everywhere you go, how they act, what they're going to do.
Ethnicity, gender, some of them have animals, some of them travel alone, some of them travel with people, 2 guys traveling, 2 girls traveling, a guy and a girl traveling, like it's these teams, these partners. I mean, it's a business, it's a job. So they then partner. So, I mean, you would have to, you're stuck in the cab of a truck by yourself or with somebody, either way.
Long,
yes.
Like just
either
day
I mean,
after day.
You find people that'll fight with themselves because they have no.
They don't have anyone to communicate.
Yeah, so it's just they're just consolidated.
Yeah.
They're the confinement.
And then when somebody breaks that, it could be bad.
Yep.
And
then you have the reverse. 2 people traveling together. They're like, I don't want to be around this person no more. And you're stuck with them because it's your job. So, you have all kinds of different varieties of stuff that's happening at these truck stops.
I had a guy on my last trip. And I don't like talking to people, but I try to be nice and stuff. And this guy looked like I may have pissed him off by blocking things. I'm one who, if you get out of your truck behind somebody else and that truck moves forward and you're still inside, I'm going to cone that off so I can get ready. And I think I did that to this guy, but he had a shirt on.
It said, I hate Andrew?
No.
Where'd you get that shirt?
Where'd you get that? I just bought it. You seen 40-Year-Old Virgin when he's drunk and he go, hey, motherfucker. Yeah. He had a shirt on that said that.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, hey, man, that's a cool shirt. I like that. And it started a conversation, and I regretted it immediately because I talked to this guy for like 30 minutes while he was at a pump, while I was trying to work. And he's like, hey, oh, yeah, I got it from this guy on TikTok. And he was super nice guy, super nice. And then he goes, oh, check this out. And he kind of led me to it. And I'm like, man, what, are you about to kidnap me? Like, no, this isn't okay. But he pulls up, he's like, check this gun out. And he pulled it out, and it's a white Glock 43.
He's like, I just stole it from that truck over there.
But he was painted American. Isn't that badass? I'm like, that's cool. Show me. And I'm like, dude, I gotta go. And you get the nicest people, and they're just, but.
Which is funny because that
was fun, but I have to work.
You were on the other side of that where you were trying to move up, but these 2 random people were talking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. that was two trips ago, and I went and dumped, got done with 2, and there was the last dispenser, and they were parked there. The guy went in, and I looked at their thing, and if they've put money on the dispenser already, it says remove nozzle or whatever. So you know not to shut that pump down. There's money on it. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just park behind this guy. And I look over, and this guy's outside of the store just talking to a random woman for like 20 minutes. And I'm like... And you could tell she was going, all right. And she kept inching closer to her
body
car.
language is moving away, and he's like...
And this old man kept following her, just talking. And finally he get up there, and I guess it timed out.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get fuel, it'll go back to normal screen. So he went and he finally grabbed his nozzle, put it in his car, and he looked at the screen. And he grabbed the nozzle and hung it back up. When I saw it hung back up, he went inside. I got out and I opened it up and shut that pump down. And he had to move.
And it was that day Andrew met the most patient guy in the world.
Yeah, that was happening. Yeah, he had to move over. I'm like,
So the other part of a truck stop is you deal with the truck side and the people. Mm-hmm. I feel like, and I want to say this, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like even the employee base inside is different than your normal gas station store.
They almost have a shorter fuse.
Yeah.
Where they're not going to deal with any of it. They get it so often, it seems. I mean, you can get that at any gas station, but truck drivers get mad, and they're loud, and they don't like anything. So they
have to get an employee to match their energy.
Yeah, and trust me, and it's funny, it's always the older white lady who will not put up with it. All right, well, you can go somewhere else. I don't give a shit. Like, oh, yeah.
So this segment is called Cashier Crash Outs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's hilarious watching them, especially when you're the guy just in the innocent bystander.
Well, yeah, because you're always behind the person who is starting the crash out for these people. And it's always those people who are, I know exactly how much fuel my tank holds.
Yeah.
This one this one gave me too much. I'm like, well,
yeah.
I had to pay $5 more for this gallon because it pumped 1 more gallon up. I'm like, man, I don't think you know your tank as well. So they start arguing with the clerk, and the clerk's like, how is this my fault at all?
Yeah.
I can put it in and let our company know that there's something going on here or something. But other than that, I can do. And then I'm waiting behind these people, and they, argue back and forth, and then they leave. And then I go up and go, hey, I'm here to calibrate your gas mileage. Well, you should have been telling that guy. I'm like, no, I had nothing to do with that. I don't want anything to do with that. I'm here to tell you so I can go out there and work by myself. You have to deal with these customers.
So the cashier crash outs.
So I like doing the loves because you just go out there, you can put them in standalone, which is where you can pump by yourself. You have to do some programming and stuff, and you pump by yourself. Say we got Murphy's, and their corporate doesn't like that. They want receipts for everything. So the clerk has to turn them on for us. And let me tell you, there are some clerks that they just don't want to. Nope. I don't know how to do that. I'm like, oh, cool, I'll teach you.
Nope.
Well, I'm not doing that. Like,
I don't need you to teach me.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
We had a lady that I had to call. I was like, this girl's not turning the pumps on. Well, can you tell her boss? I'm like, no, let me explain. She went into the bathroom and locked herself in and won't come out until her boss
nervous breakdown.
She had a nervous breakdown and wouldn't come out. She was crying. We tried to tell her, look, I'll come in here and do your part of us for you. Just take care of the customers. No, I've already told them I quit. My manager's on her way back up here. I'm done doing it. I'm like, because of us? She goes, well, you didn't help. I'm like, I was so nice, though.
So you made her quit.
I didn't make her quit. I think she was
what you should have told her. You should have told her the last site we were at, the guy actually left, and he came back high as hell and was able to deal with this. So I'm not telling you to do drugs, but
that was Austin, Texas.
Maybe.
Austin, Texas. I don't know where that other one happened in like Arkansas or something.
Was it?
And I think that was a big issue too, because Arkansas they're very complicated on how they have to do things. But no, that one was a 8 dispenser site. We got done with one half of it. We had 2 dispensers left, and we had to go dump. So we dumped, and the guy goes, hey, if y'all are gonna go dump, I have to run an errand real quick. And we're like, oh yeah, that's fine. And he was gone for like 30 minutes. And
put this in perspective. So dumping fuel is where our tanks only hold 3 80-gallon reservoirs, so 240 gallons. Yeah. Takes us maybe 4 or 5 minutes to dump all our fuel back. So as we put it in our tank, we put it back in the ground underground. Mm-hmm. We don't shut the gas stations down. So people are still getting gas,
fuel, still going inside,
and they still need a cashier and stuff. and their cashier locked the doors and left.
Left. He told us he was going to be right back, so we parked our trucks at the pump, getting ready to do those last two. We can't do anything until he gets back. And then people start lining up at the door because the doors are all locked. Well, where did this guy go? He said he had to run an errand. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And so people were coming and going. You could still get gas. You just couldn't go in the store.
Right.
And he finally showed up, and this guy looked like he went and did half his meth stash because he was so
Amped up, right? He was like, let's go.
Hey, he came back. Hey, y'all ready? We're about to get it over. We're about to finish this. And I'm like, yeah, just turn our pumps on. So we got to turn them on. I went in to get the thing signed, and he is up behind the counter. And he's pacing back and forth. He goes, y'all done? Hell yeah. And stuff. And he's signing. And I'm like, dude. So this guy, 100%, his errand was to go home and get as high as possible and come back to work. And I'm like, and you don't see that at corporations. And then you go drive around Austin in that area, and dude, their homeless shelters under bridges are more spacious than some houses around here. I'm like, dude, this is crazy.
They take care of their homeless in Austin. That's been a big thing with how they handle the homeless and whatnot.
And so it's illegal to live on the street anyway. But y'all are like, oh no,
dude, we went and ate at a chicken place.
In
downtown. No, in Austin. This was Austin, and we were downtown.
I thought you were talking about when all us went.
That's the Little Rock one.
Little Rock.
This one, we were walking downtown Austin. We come around, and this homeless guy sleeping on the sidewalk outside this like a secondhand store or a boutique or something, sleeping on there, and had like shit down his leg.
Oh no.
And it smelled like piss as far as we could walk. And then you get to this chicken place, and it's supposed to be one of the best chicken places in Texas and stuff, and almost just said, no, we're done because of that.
You lose all your appetite.
And it's like, I don't know what the right thing to do is, but you can't let your city go down because of the choices.
And they're like talking about that in California right now with that Spencer Pratt guy. And he's like, dude, we're going to try to get you help instead of just having vending machines where you can get needles and meth pipes out of. And like, that's not helping anything. People just want to be on the streets doing their drugs. And everyone's got their own story. You can't judge anybody for anything. But if you don't want to get a job because you just want to be homeless and do drugs, that's an issue.
Yeah. Well, we're all 4 or 5 years old. We're not drug addicts then. I don't think anybody's really addicted to anything at that age. So we grow in and we evolve to that. So finding out why and how that happened and getting to the root cause and not either instigating, trying to fix something at the surface, right? When you have that, you end up having crazy stories,
and just homeless, especially at gas stations, homeless is...
It's bad.
It's right next to the gas station we're doing. There was a shutdown like CVS or Walgreens or something, and it was tent city around this whole building. This guy came up to him, hey, you got $1 I can have? I was like, man, I don't. I'm working on company card, which is my excuse for every time somebody asks me for money, I'm working on company card and I can't give anything.
You could be like Mikey and pull out a wad of 20s.
A wad of 20s and have $1. No, he goes, oh, I got $1, and he pulled out like 6 20s. He goes, I don't have $1. I'm sorry.
Put it back in his... I'm like, fine, then let me have that wad of 20s.
You just made the homeless man feel great and then bad all at once.
So dumb.
But yeah, Hunter was with me, and he went over to Hunter. Hey, can I have $1? Oh, Hunter, no, I can't do it. And he left for about 10, 15 minutes. And then he came back from the other side of the building. Hey, guys, can I have $1? I'm like, no, you just asked us. And then he starts arguing.
No, that was my brother. His hair was combed on this side. Mine's on this side now.
Way. He's got a little bit longer. But yeah, and then he starts getting mad at us. Y'all don't ever give me anything when you're here. I'm like, this is the first time I've been here. What are you talking about?
This is the second time you've asked.
You've asked twice, and this is the first time I've been here.
We ought to do a whole segment on homeless guys because the two guys fighting over the bike. The guy that
I remember that one. Yeah.
walked by us at a gas station probably 60 times. I mean, I would say 100 to be just over exaggerating, but at least 50 or 60 times we saw this guy walking, and he had something new in his hand every single time. A weed eater, pushing a bike, a lawnmower, carrying 3 things at once, stereo system.
Yep.
I mean, and so like you just know what's happening, but it's just funny.
Do you remember the guy? He came up and he was talking to me, and then he sat down on the ground in the middle of the drive area and started taking things out of his bag. Like, he was barefoot, and he's taking things out, and he pulls a shoe out and kind of tosses it, and he's digging through, and then he goes, And he leans over to where he tosses it, lays down, grab the shoe, put it on. Only has one shoe on. And then the gas station owner comes out and he goes, dude, get up. You got to go. Like, no, you're blocking everybody off. Oh, okay. And he's talking to me the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, he's just wondering what I'm doing. Real nice homeless man. And then he goes over to the island part of it, moves the trash can out of the way, lays there, falls asleep. And I'm working my way towards him. And then he gets up finally, and there's a huge wet spot. You could tell he just like leaned over and peed just everywhere. And he gets up and he leaves into a little bit later. I hear cops coming up the road, and they park across the
He
street.
comes running. It wasn't me.
No. They park at this other gas station across the street, and you hear them beating on the dumpster. And then he pops out of the dumpster. He's like, what? so they pull him out.
Do I come to your house and knock on your door?
It was just so entertaining. And then you had the one guy, that Mike, was it Mike who took the picture? And you could see his feet.
He's sitting there pumping fuel, and he's watching the pump, and then he pans down, and these 2 feet are just sticking out
next to his truck, like he had come and laid down next to his tire and just fell asleep. I'm like, dude. And it's kind of scary too, because you don't know what these people are gonna do. You don't know what they're on. Most of them are the nicest people in the world, but you catch that one on a bad day, and it's not good.
Yep. You don't know what they're willing and capable of doing on drugs. We were actually moving Natalie back, my daughter, from college, and we're leaving a gas station, and I pump our gas, get both of our cars full. I go inside, go to the bathroom, and I walk out, and this guy I hear him, but I didn't see him. And all of a sudden, he pokes around the corner and walks out the front door. So he's like poking around, looking at the door, and he's screaming, "Don't mess with my homeboy!" And you better watch who you're talking to. And I'm walking out the door, and I'm like, "What did I do?" Like,
you talking to me?
I literally just walked out, and I look over, and then he like peeps back around and gets behind the wall. And I'm walking, I'm going out to the truck, and again he comes out, and he's same direction, same thing. So I was like, okay, he wasn't talking to me, but who is he talking to? I'm looking around. And as I'm walking over, there's another guy talking to Natalie. And so I'm walking up, and as I'm walking up, I pass his car, and I guess his mom was in there, and she goes, "Oh, he's just talking to her." He goes, "Is that your girlfriend?" I'm like, "No, that's my daughter." But she goes, "He's just talking to her." So when I go and ask him, he goes, "Listen," and I scared him. He like, I guess in that part of town or whatever, like, I'm not here to talk to your daughter, I'm here to warn her or whatever. And he said that guy is here.
That what he was doing
all the time over here, and he's attacked people.
Oh yeah.
So whatever drug he was on and whatever he's seeing, schizophrenic, hallucinogens, whatever it is he's doing.
Yeah, because we see that all the time where people just talk to themselves. And they'll come up to you and talk to you, but then they'll look the other way and talk to, I'm like, are you still talking to me?
Yeah.
Or are you just, and then they'll walk around.
No, quit interrupting our conversation.
No, this ain't about you. Like, you came up to me.
It's the guy behind you. Yeah, we need to have a whole segment on homeless because it goes on.
It's entertaining. It's sad, but it's entertaining.
Yeah.
But at this point, I don't even feel bad because most people are, I can't say most, but they're homeless by choice.
Yeah.
Like they'd rather do drugs than go get a job and live a comfortable life.
Yeah. Well, when you see them literally making drug deals, they don't have money. They don't have anything. They come up to you and they're asking all this stuff. And then you turn around and watch them, and you see literally a drug deal happen. It's not about money, and it's not about doing better for yourself. It's what it is. Like this show, try to find the humor in things and do all that, and just kind of go on your day with some stories. So we're gonna end this on this last segment. I want a little bit of knowledge going in here, but this one we call it pump, dump, and disappear. This is truck stop theft. This is a big thing in the industry. They've actually made some changes with EMV. If you ever noticed, you used to just put your card in, and now over the past 5, 6, 7 years, now you can tap to pay. You can insert your card.
Apple Pay.
Yep. Use your phone. The card reader will actually lock your card, and it's reading a chip instead of the mag strip. And so that's the EMV. But beyond that, that's protecting the consumer, everybody that's buying gas. But one of the big things they've got to worry about is protecting the customer, and these truckers. Just different people, they're stealing the gas. And there's different ways to get it. One, just go straight from the tank. And two, how do we pump it through there?
Yeah, they'll park right over the top of where we dump the fuel, where trucks dump the fuel for the gas station, and they have a hole cut out in their van or their truck or whatever they're in, usually vans, because they can hide the barrels in the van, and they'll just park over that, take the thing off, and they have a pump that just pumps it into their thing, and you never know. You think it's just somebody parked out there. And
box trucks. They go bigger than that. They do box trucks,
yeah.
semi trucks. So anytime you ever see, and this is just something you can be aware of, and you may not do anything about it. You may hear this and think, hey, I've noticed that, and you tell the store owner, hey, this semi truck's been parked over there.
Mm-hmm. Especially in the if you see, most people don't even know that's where fuel is kept.
Yeah.
At a gas station, it's in a tank under the ground. If you drive through a gas station and you see red, white, and yellow lids, if y'all ever see that, that's where people dump that's where the tanks are that hold all the fuel.
Yeah.
We get questioned a lot, like, "Oh, are y'all putting the fuel in the pumps?" I'm like, "No, that's not how it works. It's all the fuel's over there."
Maybe if you watch this in reverse,
then it looks like it.
But yeah, so they'll do it that way. The federal agencies that watch over these, they catch that primarily, knowing where, following people, building cases and stuff, so they're catching all that. What we see the most is actually the theft at the pump. The people who steal from the truck stops, they're able to disable it so when they pump fuel, it's not counting, but it's dispensing. And so they do that in a number of different ways. And they are able to steal thousands of gallons. They tell all their people, they come in line. So when we talk about a row of trucks, it's not uncommon to see a row of trucks. So when you see this guy pull off, the next guy
at one dispenser.
Yeah.
Like when you have we had that issue at that one truck stop in Fort Worth.
I was going to lead on that one. And,
yeah. What do? We went and calibrated it.
Well, she first called and said she had a fuel loss. And so we said, okay, that's primarily the thing you want to do is calibration. We always say, let's start with the cheapest, right? Just like your car makes a clunky noise, they're not going to just go put a motor in it. They're going to do a oil change and do stuff. Yes.
Diagnostic.
So we want to just start with the calibration. It's usually the cheapest diagnostic service you can do. So we went out there and did it, and y'all
calibrated. Everything came back correct.
Yep. Except one dispenser you couldn't calibrate. It was broke. Pump 21. So we couldn't
do anything with it.
Yep. So we ended up skipping that one, and nobody could get gas there. Had it bagged off. A trucker actually had hit it.
Ran it over.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so
and they were still showing a fuel loss.
No, not yet. Not then.
They weren't?
Nope.
Okay.
So we went and did the calibration. That was on us. She noticed on Saturday. We came back that Monday or something and did it. It was a week later. The next Saturday is when they had a fuel loss again. So she calls us Monday and she's mad.
Thinking we messed something up. Right.
So I went and talked to her and I said, look, if this is us, for sure, we'll pay you back all the amount of fuel that you lost, $10,000, $20,000 worth of fuel that's come up missing. And she's like, this is this. But I had already recommended some kind of fuel theft prevention. There's different things they can do. There's actually now we've got the law to pass that requires a certain variety of security that you have to do. If you're not using this one, you have to use this one. So they give you like 6 different things you can do, and they hold you accountable to that. And so anyways, she calls us back Monday. She's mad. I go and meet with her and I said, let us come back and check them. This sounds like something we could have done. It sounds like something else. So come back and check them. We're out there. We're checking them. In the meantime, I was checking them. She was actually having pump 21 fixed by another company. They were putting a new pump out there. When they're fixing it, they find we call it a skimmer. It's something similar to what they do on the card readers, but it was skimming the counting. It's called a pulsar, but it's counting and showing you what's pumping. And they had that on there. So in after us doing the calibration, or after her reporting there was a fuel theft, somebody hit the dispenser. That was the one. That was the one they were stealing fuel.
From,
So we did all the stuff. They stopped having the fuel theft. The guy who had his stuff on there realized, dang, we're not getting fuel,
this one anymore.
Free fuel.
And he moved it all over to pump 20.
He moved it over after. So he goes to, I think it's 22 on that one, that further one out.
Yeah, the next one.
And that's usually where that happens, is the outside dispensers.
Because they're the furthest from the store. People aren't paying attention to what you're doing out there.
She was super, once we found that, we found where the skimmers were. We found it on the other one. And she was super apologetic. She was thankful that she had done that. And she was regretful that she didn't follow my advice.
And they did after that.
Yeah.
Like we got them good security after that. And usually just changing the original keys into something special that you only have. Because you don't know how many people have the original keys for these dispensers. They're the same exact key for every dispenser.
Well, think of, you went and bought a Ford, and think of all Fords have the same key. So this particular brand of pump, you buy it, they have the same key. So if I have this key to this one, I went to another site, same key.
It works.
So one of the laws is to go to an aftermarket key.
Yep.
And then there's cages, security. There's different things you can do on them.
And the high flow is there. It's easy to pop that pulsar, break that pulsar or whatever, so it won't count. And that's the easy way to get into there. The lower volumes is where you'll find your skimmers, your credit card skimmers and stuff, and we found numerous of those.
And then we found another customer. This was just a couple weeks ago. Asked us. We did a site, and he started noticing theft, and he wanted to come back 3 months later, and we did all their sites 3 months later. They were having it all over. So somebody had really found a flaw in their system. It was a bigger site. They had truck islands in the back and auto islands in the front. It was a big, probably 20 dispensers, so 2 rows of 5 or something. And when we got in there, we noticed that there was damage to some of these pumps, and we reported it. And the customer called. Well, I wasn't the one on site seeing it, so I couldn't tell him. But looking at the pump numbers that was there, it was typically 1 and 2 is one of your first dispensers, and 9 and 10 would have been your last dispenser on a second row.
On
and
the
then,
ends.
Yep.
Always
And then
on the ends.
your high volumes usually pick up where that left off. So it's 21, 22, 23 or whatever. And it was one of the upper numbers that we found that. And I called him and said, look, from looking at these numbers alone, it looks like it's all these pumps on the outsides furthest from your store. And he didn't have much to say about that. Ding, light bulb went off, and he went out there. Yeah. And so we've been in this game long enough where we're part of many, many different networking groups, organizations. We're on with a lot of these states that help not only understand the laws, but to make the laws to do these protection things. So when we look at this stuff, we are here to help the consumer, anybody buying gas, which 99% of the public, I would say, that drives cars aren't an EV yet. So they're in they're in gas, so they're buying fuel. And then of course the gas station who's selling the fuel also probably drives a car to get there. So they're their own customers. And so we just try to help all around, protect everybody. And that's kind of what this whole MCS Petroleum is based off of. And thank you to MCS Petroleum to help fund Fuelish Behaviors so that we can pass that knowledge on and bring some funny stories.
Yeah, and keep people, like, even if you don't own a gas station, everybody goes to a gas station. So this is good knowledge to have, especially if you don't want your cards. There's things you can prevent. Pull on that card reader.
Yeah.
There's a cap that they can put onto there. We had the guy come in and talk to us about the state guy.
Yeah.
And he showed me one thing where it was a skimmer on the card where you put your card in, but they also had the tap to pay.
Oh, yeah.
But they had drilled out the tap part, just one little hole right through the middle of that because they didn't want you using the tap. They wanted you to put your card in there, and that's how they were stealing
They disabled the tap to pay so that you were forced to put your card in. So it would still let you do a transaction, but it was still taking the magnet.
Yep.
And but even like you said, even if you're not buying gas, you go in the store, they're putting cases and covers on the card readers inside. Still in that. That could be just some random. That could be the part of the store itself. So just be aware, be alert.
And how many people run through these gas stations? And you get, how many people just apply for a job at the gas station so they can put their stuff on it? So I always think about that. We've never caught anything like that. You never know who's doing it, but
well, we catch the unit itself. We report it, and now that was one of the big parts with these policing agencies that do this now is we're changing the law to find this, and they're able to dot a map to do it, and they're finding the pattern, they're finding the hit this, and they're tracking these people down, and some of them they're catching right away, and some of them they're letting them build a case. It's not enough, and they're finding the networks that are in there. They're finding the cartels that are doing this. They're finding the different formulas of the agencies. I call them agencies. They're just the corrupt agencies that are doing this to manipulate and do what they need to do to steal fuel, because you start blocking them at one, they're going to do the other. That was kind of one of the things when they first started coming out with EMV was these guys were making so much money a day. Why would they not go to the engineer that created this? Here's a bunch of money. Here's 2 years of your salary. Re-engineer it and give it to me. So you always got to be alert. That's up to us. But the main thing is you're going to see changes constantly happen, and the more they happen, the more they're going to happen because they're cat and mouse.
And you'll never not have somebody who is stealing. No matter what, they could eliminate the card stuff that people are stealing from. They could eliminate the tap with they're stealing from that. They'll find a new way. It sucks. You just have to be more vigilant. And that's what we've gotten to in the world where nobody is anymore. Everybody's in their phone, and I'm guilty of it, and I don't pay attention. And But then you go home and you're like, shit, somebody just took $100 out of my account 4 times.
Yeah.
Like, where'd that come from? And
Financial safety.
yeah.
We got to be safe. You want to be aware of your surroundings and stuff and be safe at the gas station, but financial safety at the same time.
It reminds me too of gas station owners being so careful about theft. Little Chevron I did, they had 4 gas pumps. I found a skimmer in 3 of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey man, there's a skimmer in this one. And I showed him the picture. I brought him out. I'm like, this is a skimmer. And I have to call the police now. They have to do this. He goes, man, I got a complaint that somebody said they think their card information got stolen here. So I put these padlocks on the thing. I'm like, you locked it in.
Yeah.
Like it's stuck in there.
Yep.
I went to the next dispenser, opened it up. There was a skimmer in it.
Yeah.
I went to the next dispenser, opened it up. There was a skimmer in it. So he was trying to be careful as best he could and locked the skimmer in it. Almost makes me think, man, were you
Was it
involved
you?
in this?
Was it you?
Stuff? But I mean, we've dealt with this guy
Yeah.
forever, and he's a super nice guy, and he just got caught. They handled him,
And if
they
you
had to
don't
put it
know
in.
technology, you think everything's physical, meaning he thinks that the person that put it in there needs
Had
to go
to get in,
grab
and
it to
nope.
get it out there, but it's all Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
They get up there by their phone, and it's transferring all the information that it got to their phone. They're saving a database.
All they have to do is pull up next to the dispenser and then leave.
Yep.
And they don't have to open it back
And-
up. They have
and
to open it up one time. and
Some
then
of them
all their stuff's in
found some 4G networks onto them, so it's on a cloud, and all they have to do, they don't even have to drive around anymore. They're stealing it based off the cloud.
Yeah, they're
So-
getting trickier with it. They're getting smarter with
Yep.
it, and it sucks. But
Yep.
that's just where we're at.
So theoretically, the safest thing you can do is tap to pay. So if you get anything from this, is tap to pay. If you do use your card, kind of do some jiggling, wiggling, and moving, and kind of see if anything it looks
if it
off.
looks off, don't trust it.
Yep.
Basically, don't trust it.
And if you feel uneasy about it, go ahead and go to your next pump. Even though it feels inconvenient, it's even more inconvenient to have to
but-
call your bank saying, "Hey, that $20,000 charge at
if you get that back, so a lot of banks are good.
Yeah.
And they'll get it back. And sometimes they're like, oh, well, that's your fault. Like,
Yep.
we can't prove you didn't spend this. And
Yep.
just be more vigilant. We have pulling on those things inside. Man, they're putting whole things on those Veriphones that
Yeah.
look exactly like it.
Yep.
Man, like,
Yep, it looks just like the card reader inside, and so you swipe it, and it's just done. But yeah, be safe. Take care of yourself and your funds.
The financial safety, be safe on the road. We talked about road rage and stuff. If you see a trucker, I get it. Truckers are assholes, but avoid them.
Yeah.
Like they want you to avoid
Yeah.
them.
Well, they know they can't stop. They know they need bigger rooms. So they're driving 24/7. If it's happening all the time, they get frustrated with it. So not to justify anything, but it does a monotony of disrespect kind of towards them. And so they just gain a callous to it, and they then reflect what they're dealing with. So that's a good point. We talk about truckers and stuff.
Funny, I say it, and then I'm going to get back on the road and be just as pissed off as I always
We need some cameras. We're going to start playing harmonic music. What is the massage parlor music?
Oh,
Real
yeah.
soft
I need that just playing in
waterfall
the truck
sounds.
all the time.
Woo-saw
My
moments.
dumb ass gets on stupid YouTube and watch a bunch of political stuff that pisses me off, and it just makes it way worse when I'm trying.
How could I make myself more mad?
I do it.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that does it every time. Oh, it's your fault the country's going to shit and you driving next to me and going too slow in this lane.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. All right. You got anything else?
I'm ready to get out of here, is what I'm trying to do.
Thank you for joining us on Fuelish Behavior. Again, I'm Adam Thompson. This is Andrew Howard. He is the calibration technician for MCS Petroleum. Hopefully you got some knowledge from this and shared a few laughs with us.
Yeah, that was fun. I'll be back
If you got
probably, maybe. We'll
if you got any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always email us at podcast@mcspetroleum.com. And that's all we got for you today.
All right, man. Appreciate you.